if who will deny. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason.
It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right.
It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes small.
But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the who's.
Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lightened window below in their town, for he knew every who down in Whoville beneath was busy hanging mistletoe wreaths.
And they're hanging their stockings.
He snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow's Christmas. It's practically here.
Then he growled with his scrunchy fingers, nervously drumming.
I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow he knew.
All the Whoville boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush to their toys, and then all the noise, noise.
That one he hated.
The noise. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast.
And the feast.
And they'd feast.
Feast. They would feast on who pudding and rare who roast best.
Was something the Grinch could stand the least. And then they'd do something he liked the least of all.
Every who down in Whoville they tell, and the small would stand close together. The Christmas bells ring, they stand hand in hand.
And the Who's would start singing. They'd sing.
They sing.
And they'd sing.
Sing.
And the more the Grinch thought of the Who's Christmas singing,
The more the Grinch thought.
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it. Now I must stop Christmas from coming. But how?
Then he got an idea.
an awful idea.
The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat.
And he made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat.
And he chuckled and chuckled.
What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and hat, I look just like Santa. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeers are scarce, there was none to be found.
Did that stop the old Grinch?
No!
The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
So he called his dog Max.
Then he took small red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head.
Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks
On a ramshackle sled.
and he hitched up with Max.
Then the Grinch said,
Giddy up!
And the sleigh started down toward the home where the Who's lay a snooze in their town.
all the windows were dark, quiet, snowy filled the air.
All the Who's were dreaming sweet dreams without care. Then he came to the first little house on the square.
This is stop number 1.
Noel Grinchy caused his. And he climbed to the roof empty bags in his fist.
Then he slid down the chimney a rather tight beat. But if Santa could do it,
Then so could the Grinch.
he got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace where the little Who stockings all hung in a row.
These stockings
He grinned.
are the first things to go.
Then he stood and slumped with most appeals.
Around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns,
And pop presents.
roller skates, drums,
Checkerboards.
tricycles, popcorn,
And plums.
and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nibbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney.
Then he slumped to the icebox.
He took the Who's feast. He took the Who's pudding.
Then he took the roast best.
He cleared out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with leaves.
And
Grinned the Grinch.
I will stuff up the tree.
The Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove. Then he heard a small sound like a coo of a dove.
He turned around fast and he saw a small Who.
Little Cindy Lou Who, who was not more than 2.
The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who didn't get out of bed for a cup of cold water.
She started at the Grinch and said,
Why, Santa, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know that old Grinch was too smart and so slick. He thought up a lie.
He thought it up quick.
What, Miss Santa?
the fake Santa Claus hit lied.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop. My dear, I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here.
And his fib loved the children. Then he patted her head and he got her a drink and he sent her to bed.
And when children who wanted to bed with her cup, she went to climb the stuff the tree up.
Then the last thing he took was a log for the fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar.
No, there was he left nothing but hooks and some war.
And speck of food he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to other Who's houses.
leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouse.
It was 7:15. All the Who's still abed.
All the Who's still are snowed.
Then he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents.
The rabbit ribbons,
The wrapping, the tags,
and the tinsels.
and the trimming. The trappings.
3,000 feet up.
Up the side of Crumpet. He rode with his loaded to the tippy top to dump it.
Hoo-hoo, off to the Who's.
He was grinchiously humming.
They're frightened now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open for a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise
Grin, the Grinch.
that I simply must hear.
So he paused, and the Grinch put his head to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow.
It started in low. Then it started to grow.
But the sound wasn't sad.
Why this sound sounded merry? It couldn't be so.
But it was merry.
Merry. He stared down at the bill. The Grinch popped his eyes.
Then he shook.
What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing.
Without any presents at all.
He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming, and it came. Somehow or other, it came just the same.
And the Grinch, with his grinchy feet ice cold in his snow.
Stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without pens. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till the puzzler was short. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
And what happened then?
Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart, grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he